How will these overnight cues impact our own markets? Well, we have a research team to tell you just that. The market setup, the stocks that are likely to be in the news, and the action from the F&O space as well. Let me go across to Surbhi first up. Surbhi has the list of all the stocks which are in focus today. Surbhi?
Hi, good morning. So today I'll be watching out for PVR. Now remember, the year-on-year numbers are not quite comparable because of the merger, but the revenue came in at 1143 crores versus a poll of 1192 crores. EBITDA came in at 264 crores versus a poll of 216 crores, and the margins came in at 23%. Next is Astral. The revenue was up 8.3%, the EBITDA was up 42.5%, and the margins came in at 20.5% versus 15.6% same time last year. Berger Paints, the revenue was up nearly 12%, the EBITDA was up 6%, and the margins came in at 15%. Coromandel International, the revenue was up 30%, the EBITDA was up 6.2%, and the margins came in at 7.4%. Suryoday Small Finance Bank, the company reported a net profit of 39 crores versus a loss of 48 crores, and a net interest income was up 43.5%, came in at 210 crores. And lastly, ONGC and Oil India will also be in focus as the windfall tax on crude petroleum is reduced to nil from 4,100 rupees per ton.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Surbhi. So a lot of stocks which will be in focus today. Let's talk about the F&O space as well. Nigel is joining in with all the cues. Nigel.
Well, it was a good trading session yesterday, right? The Nifty ended with strong gains, though we came off a little bit in the final 30 minutes or so. What did the FIs do? Well, they added some long positions and they covered some shorts out there. So now, in fact, the long-short ratio is at 50% apiece. On the option side, they bought more puts than calls in case things go wrong. They have some protection out there. But it's heartening to see that they keep writing more puts than calls, telling you that in the near term, you're likely to see some sort of base in case we have a bit of a correction. It continues to remain a buy on dips market. Now, two strikes were very active yesterday, 18,400, 18,350. The premium out there between 50 to around 70 rupees approximately, and it added more than 70 lakh shares, 75 lakh shares between them. The PCR, well, it's moving toward the upper end of the bar, but you can't really short this market, given the kind of ferocity we're seeing on the upside. Though the PCR has now moved to around 1.34 odd. What are the levels then? Since there was writing at around 18,350, 18,400, you plug in those numbers, you get your support range, around 18,300 to around 18,313. On the upside though, the 18,550 becomes an important resistance level. And I say that because on the call side, the call that has the highest open interest is at around 18,500. Plug in the 50 rupees and that's how you're getting the resistance on the upside. But today, it will belong to the Financial Nifty Services expiry because that plays out the expiry on every Tuesday. The 19,600 call, well, that was fairly active in trade yesterday. You don't see this amount of open interest built up, but more than 20 lakh shares getting added. Then the premiums around 50 rupees. So the broad resistance on the upside will be around this 19,650 to around 19,700. Yesterday, we went in that vicinity and we saw some bit of a pullback from there. So you like from a bullish perspective, you like the Nifty Financial Services to move about those resistance zone and trade about that. If that happens, then you're bracing for a good weekly expiry to play out. And as we know, in the Nifty Financial Services Index, you have banks as well as other big names like HDFC Limited. That's not part of HDFC Bank, but it's part of this particular index. First starters though, the SGX Nifty, well, that was indicating a more or less a green start. So let's see how this goes. We'll be opening up closer to the highs of yesterday. Back to you.
Okay, that's correct. Thank you, Nigel, for making sense of those F&O cues. With that, we'll slip into a break. And up next, India's external trade deficit for goods fell to a 21-month low. We'll get you all the details on the other side of this very short break. Stay tuned for that.